Hey guys, so last time we talked about how to actually come to Korea so you can teach in Korea for those that want to come teach in Korea. But today I want to talk about some of the things that you should look out for when trying to come to Korea to teach abroad, because there's a lot of things that people don't know, and especially if you don't do research to figure out what you really want out of coming to Korea or to Japan, depending on where you want to go, then you don't know. There can be a lot of pitfalls to fall into. So the first thing is housing. If it does not say that they include housing, then you might want to check to see if they give you more money. The general salary that people receive when coming from abroad to Korea is probably about 2.1 to 2.3. The 2.1 is the basic salary, and 2.3 is usually for somebody who has some experience. You can also negotiate probably more, but I highly doubt they'll give you more than what they say, which is 2.1 and 2.3 usually. But if you do not have housing, then usually they give you at least like 2.7 to 2.9. So please look into that, something around there. If you don't check out for that, then you probably might end up with not having a housing, but like getting like 2.1, 2.3, and that's not good. So please check for that. And then also, if they give you a stipend, like if it says like 2.1 to 2.3 plus stipend, that's probably because they don't include housing. Coming from abroad, that could be a little tricky because a lot of people don't know that for apartments and so forth in Korea, you need to put down a down payment. It's called key money. The key money is like $5,000 to $10,000. You are supposed to get that money back, but there's incidents where some people have not gotten that money back, so that's kind of tricky and scary, really, to put down that much and for a landlord to find a way for you not to get that money back. But if you come from abroad, then you have to have that money already saved up so you can put down on your housing, unless your school helps you find one and they'll put down the down payment for you. So that's a lot of things that you would have to talk to your school or your recruiter about before you actually sign papers, because you don't want to get here and then not have a place, or you don't want to get here and not have the money for the apartment. But usually I want to say that they're good on talking to you about that before you come, and majority of places already offer housing, but that's just something to take note of. 2 would be pension and insurance. Now, pension is something that you pay into like half, and your school will probably pay half, and then you would receive that money. It's like working towards something like retirement. It's only offered to like teachers, it seems. A lot of that stuff is not offered to actual Korean citizens. So I guess that's a good thing, that you get something to save towards retirement for those who come abroad and you probably just spend a lot of money because you're like, oh, I'm finally in Korea. I finally get to go to K-pop concerts, buy all these K-pop merchandise or whatever, depending on what you like. Or maybe just like drinking and having fun, and you're in a new country, so maybe you just want to be out all the time. But please make sure that you're balancing your money correctly, because I don't want anything to happen to anybody that comes to Korea like I don't have money. But that will help you out just a little bit, and then you get that money back before you leave. Also, there's insurance. Insurance is for if anything happens to you while you're in Korea. It's like a national insurance that you can use to pay for different things. Usually that is the same thing. You pay in half, your school pays in half. So the pension and the insurance are usually 50-50. You would have to ask about that if it's not stated, or even if it's stated, make sure you also talk to your school about it, because there's a lot of times where it's stated but people don't actually get it. So there's a lot of things that you really have to pay attention for, and you really should ask when you're talking to your recruiter in school before you sign papers. Number 3 would be holidays and vacations. Now, if you heard me talk about my time in school to why I probably don't want to stay here, well, the biggest reason, besides other things, to why I don't want to stay at my current school is I get no holidays off. Now, when I talk to my recruiter, which I'll get into recruiters and stuff in a different number, but I told him I don't want to work holidays. There are a lot of different holidays, and I want to spend that time off, you know. I don't want to have to work every holiday, but my school does not offer holidays, so every holiday I work. I don't get any holiday off. On those holidays, I work probably like a 10 to 4 type of schedule, like an earlier schedule instead of a late night schedule. But honestly, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm still working. For longer vacations like Solal or Chuseok. Chuseok is like Korean Thanksgiving, and Solal is Chinese New Year. For those, we get like 3 days off, which is like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I have to make those up on Saturdays. like a month beforehand. So I would have to work Monday through Saturday, and on those days I have to work like 6 to 9 hours. 6 hours on one Saturday, 9 hours on the other Saturday. But that's like all week. That's not good. So please look into that. Make sure that your company offers holidays off, because if it's like holidays off and maybe like just a short vacation with everybody else, like the schools and so forth, where the school gets off for 2 weeks or 3 weeks for like Christmas or the summer, that's a lot better than them trying to say like, oh, you get 2 weeks off or something like that and you can take it anytime. Because even though you can take it any time, if you don't get holidays off, then during all those holidays, which is probably about 14 to 15 different days, you have to work. So please look out for that, because I was shocked because I asked about that before I went and signed papers, and my recruiter kept telling me like, oh yeah, that's what it is, and it really wasn't. So now I work all holidays, and that's very, very second, where people are like, let's do this for a holiday, and I'm like, I work, you know. So don't fall into that pitfall or that trap. Make sure that you ask, do you have to work holidays or not? A lot of this stuff does go against laws, so you have to check laws too in Korea, because English teachers are not treated the best when they go abroad, because of people like to take advantage, because you do want to come here. There are some things where people come here just to play around, so I guess people know that, so they try to take advantage of you as a teacher anyway, because you're probably taking advantage of them coming here. So there's that, and there's those that actually really want to teach, get that experience, and just want to help others, but then they're getting taken advantage of. So please look out for that, because I don't want that to be anybody that's watching right now. So yes, if it's like holidays and having that time off with kids and everybody else, even though flights may be more expensive, it's a lot better than them saying like, oh, we'll give you like 2 weeks off or something like that, because 2 weeks does not equal the amount of days you would have if you had holidays and that type of stuff off with the kids. 4 would be overtime. Make sure that if you do have overtime, if that's something you like to do, if you do like overtime, make sure that you're actually getting paid for the overtime. Because if you're not getting paid for the overtime, then you're working extra hours for no reason, you know. So that's something you do want to ask before you go, because if you're working overtime and you're not getting paid for it, that's just extra hours. You could be doing something else, like being at the gym, going shopping, hanging out with friends, meeting people, you know, doing adventures. Like that's stuff that you could be doing that you're not doing because you're constantly working overtime. I've seen some people that work all day and they don't get extra pay, and it's just not good at all. You know, a lot of people think like, oh, overtime is helpful because I'm getting paid more. First of all, are you even getting paid? And then second of all, even if you're doing overtime, you're getting more money. Majority of that stuff, if you're not happy, you know, that all like weighs on you. And it does the opposite effect. It doesn't make you better. It makes you that much worse. So yes, make sure that you are getting paid for overtime. If you don't want to do overtime, ask about it. That's the one thing you should do, because sometimes they don't tell you you have to work overtime. Or if they do, they don't tell you how many hours you have to work of overtime. So that's something to look out for, because you don't want to fall into a trap of like, wait, why do I have to work overtime? Or I've been working overtime like every day since I started, or something like that, because these are year contracts. The 5th one is school. Some people get happy when they finally get a job and they get to come to Korea or Japan or wherever. But a lot of things that you should do is probably check the web to see if there's anything that people have said about the schools. You know, sometimes people lie, so that is kind of tricky, but then at the same time, sometimes people are really trying to help you out. And if you don't try to look up different information on schools, you could fall into a school that does not treat people correctly, and that could be not the best for a whole year. Some people end up leaving, but in Korea, if you leave your contract, it's probably hard to find another school, depending on if they blacklist you or something like that, or their contacts and stuff like that, if they're contacted with other schools and so forth, and finding a new school. Also, your visa kind of expires really quickly because they like cancel your visa. That is different from a lot of other countries that I've been to. In Japan, they don't cancel your visa. You still have that visa and you can find a new job. So if you already had a 1-year visa, you get to keep that 1-year visa while you find a job or whatever, but until it expires. But in Korea, once you quit, like they give you like what, a few days or something, I heard, and then like you either got to be out the country or you had to have another job by then. So that's pretty scary. So that's one thing that you don't want to do. I would just look into it more before you come, because I've heard of people like coming here for like a week or two, their school was horrible, and then they went back to their country because obviously they had to. They didn't have no visa anymore. So that's one thing to look out for, so that doesn't happen to you when you come abroad to Korea. But do some research, try to figure out what school is best for you. If you do get something, ask a lot of different questions. Make sure you're asking the school, because the recruiter, which is number 6, to me there's a lot of confusion in the middle, and I feel like this is like done on purpose. Because like I said, when I was trying to get hired, I said holidays, I said I don't want to work weekends, I said I want housing, pension, insurance, I said I want everything pretty much, and that's what I'm looking for. But even the recruiters try to prey on people trying to come abroad to Korea, because mine said like, oh yeah, you don't have to work holidays. I work every holiday. He said, oh, you won't have to work Saturdays. But then when I got the contract, it said you have to work Saturdays. And I said, you said I don't have to work Saturdays, and this said I have to work Saturdays. So I said, I need you to find out how many Saturdays I'm going to have to work, or if not, I'm not going to take this job. And he said, okay. He left, and then he came back maybe like some hours later, and then he said, oh, they said you only work one Saturday a year. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, if it's only one Saturday, I guess I can do that, you know. But it was a lie. What I am thinking is he went to like lunch, and he came back and he just said, oh yeah, you only have to work one Saturday to get me to sign, because they get money for booking people to come to Korea. And I was like, that's pretty wrong, you know, because I asked, and then I talked to my school about it, and they're like, I've been working with Jack English for years, and I don't know why they would do that. Why would they lie or whatever? And I'm like, okay. But then another guy came recently who went through Jack English too. Probably the same guy. But he said that, yeah, he told me too that I would only work like one Saturday a year. And I'm like, yeah, so it's just the thing that he does. He just tries to get people to sign. So he tells you stuff that you don't get. Or even if you talk to him about the contract, because you're like, wait, I said this or this. Supposedly he acts like he talks to the school, but he really doesn't. He just gives you like, oh, like, yeah, it's actually there. Oh, yeah, they said no, you don't, you know. But like, that's just a way just to get you to sign. So look out for that, because recruiters are trying to get you to, like, literally everybody is trying to get you just to come here, or just because they want money, but they don't actually really like care about you, you know. So be careful of that, because I don't want anything to happen, like I said, to anybody that's coming here, you know, trying to enjoy yourself, trying to, you know, learn more probably about Korean culture, Korean food, Korean traditions, and so forth, and then to have like a horrible time because your life at work isn't the best, you know, or it's not what you thought it would be. But if we're being honest, to the majority of the people that I've met so far, life at school is never good. There's always some things, like the bosses or something are too mean, they don't have your back for a lot of different things, they take advantage of you, they make you work overtime for no reason, they don't pay you, you don't get paid on time, or something like that. Like, there's a lot of different things, so please look out for that, and make sure you do your research before you come abroad. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was very, very helpful. I know it was like a lot to cram in, but I just want the best for you guys. So if there's any more questions that you have on coming to teach abroad or anything like that, you can find me on my live streams, which are Saturdays, Sundays on Twitch, Visually Greg, Instagram, Twitter, Visually Greg, or, you know, just comment below. See you guys next time. Bye. You're still here? Thanks for watching the video until the end. Please don't forget to check out the description box below for info on my friends that were in the video.
Hi!
Product links, my other social media platforms, and my new product designer. If you guys love the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment, because I really love reading and writing back to comments that fans leave. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.